Anyway, good evening, everyone. This is a work session of the Southwick Agricultural Commission. It is Wednesday, January 17th, 2024. We do have a quorum with myself, Bert Hanson, Dan Cook, Zach Barnett, and Jen DiPietro. And Tom Jada should be here pretty soon, and we're hoping for some other folks on Zoom. Oh, speaking of which, we don't have our folders, but first, public comments. I do, and we don't have communications on the agenda, but I just want to mention a couple of things. We've talked about the grant writing program at the library on the 30th, so just kind of a final reminder on that. The CPR courses, February 14th, although we have a meeting that night. And
what time is that
at? 6 o'clock.
Probably gonna be longer than an hour.
Probably, I can find out. Then there's again though on the February 27th.
That's the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna do that.
What day of the week is it? 27th is a Tuesday, so as far as AgCom, yeah, we're good. And then I got something, actually Diane Gale posted on the. Whoa. Now we have Marissa.
How's Elliot?
Oh, he's doing great. Thank you. Yeah, he's living his best life. Thanks.
Nice and warm.
Nice and warm, sleeping,
Yeah, you're dressed almost like Jessica's baby McKinley in that picture she sent around. It was like this black and white.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah. Little McKinley.
Lots of babies.
Lots of new babies. Yeah.
So I just was going through a couple of, communication things with the grant writing course coming up at the library. CPR courses
Oh, wow.
here.
You have to sign up for that?
Yeah, I can, if I didn't send this
I
to
don't
you,
remember you sending it.
I will.
Picture of you. I'll send it to you. Okay. Maybe I took a picture of it.
I'll send it. So there's one CPR class, February 14th, which we also have a meeting that night.
Yep, I do have it.
Oh, okay. And then there's another one on February 27th, which is a Tuesday, so that should be doable. No, February 14th and 27th. Yeah. And then, and Diane posted on the Southwick community page about early voting for the presidential primaries, and election day is Tuesday, March 5th, but basically the entire week before then, if you want to vote early, you can. So just safe to say, vote early and often.
Come every day.
So,
Oh, thank you.
so I think we just wanted to, talk through the farm forum one more time. And then talk a little bit about the budget.
See, I didn't know this group.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin. You look kind of chilly.
There's a chair here, Tammy.
Yeah.
Warm. I'm gonna bring.
Oh, now it's gonna capture every expression.
Yeah.
Oh. Is that me now? No, aim it at Zach. Double-sided.
60, it doesn't matter which way.
Oh,
It
dear.
picks up on who's talking.
I'm done talking.
So we're gonna talk about the farm forum, and we've been talking, and I was texting today about if the land use room is available my preference would be to move it up there just because the sound is better. It's kind of echoey here.
When will we know? Tomorrow?
Yeah, I know. And the AV setup is, if you can even use the term AV anymore, I'm not sure, but the equipment up there is easier to use than it is here. So hopefully we can
The buzz went away.
move up there.
The buzzing went away.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably heaters.
Well, wait, no.
Exactly, it's a wrong thing.
That's a speaker.
Might be a,
It's called a sound sphere.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's old, real old. They don't do that anymore.
And then, Dan was just saying, we'll probably should plan to sit together, at the head table. So I can introduce everybody for starters, get the meeting going. And then so, folks will know who's talking and as Dan says, who to point the finger at. And I'll make some name tags.
Good
Bib
idea.
overalls, make sure everybody has bib overalls. on.
Okay, yeah.
I think the window for us.
Well, is there anybody at a table like welcoming everybody in?
Yes,
Like that?
there should be a, like a registration
Okay,
table, and my wife Juliet, I was gonna say, she volunteered, but I kind of
You
volunteered.
Last year.
Well, yeah.
And,
Okay.
yeah, I think it might take two, especially if we're trying to get people's, addresses and other
Yeah,
their
Yeah,
contacts.
people are coming in all at once.
Yeah, last year it was Tammy and Angie, I believe.
Yeah. And maybe, could you take notes again? That was
Are you looking at me? Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. why not?
good. Yeah. Oh, so I talked to, with Clark the other day about the forum. There should be a story in the Westfield News any time now. And he's gonna come to it like Peter Courier did last year, so that's good. Let's see, and then it's year in review, as we've said, farm forum, open farm day, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know, I get Marissa Tom's gonna be here shortly, so I'm not sure if there's been any photographs
Okay.
going back and forth. Yes, and Angie was gonna work on that too, and she has the flu. She was gonna zoom in, but I don't see her yet. And then review of the website, and Marissa, you and Sage have talked about that.
Yeah, we kind of figured out a format and a flow for that, so.
Yeah. Okay. Good. It can be a surprise to us, that's okay.
I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
all seen the website, so I think we're just gonna do a quick walkthrough and,
Yeah,
we have a couple prompts and questions, just so it's not, the worst thing is to be shown a presentation of something obvious where people can read. So we figured out a few prompts, like just questions to ask people as we get to each page, like, is this readable? Do you guys think that this page should contain this kind of information? We're thinking of adding this database. Should it go, do you think, on this page? Like questions like that to get people kind of engaged and get their user interactive and get like some actual
Yeah.
user experience, feedback so that we can make some changes on the website. So, we'll do that.
and get them to fill out that, information, that's sort of not demographic, but that information form that Sage
Yeah.
put together.
Right. Yeah, we were thinking of having people also follow on the phones as well simultaneously, so that way they have the website on their phone and then hopefully they might save it, bookmark it,
Okay,
Is there a QR code that gets scanned quickly? If you throw it up on the screen?
Yeah, we do have one. I guess I'll wait until Tom gets here to ask about the status of like what our PowerPoint or visual part is gonna be,
Yeah.
because that would be great.
Right,
We can just have like, when it comes to that section of the website discussion, just have a QR code on. And then we link out of the presentation and go directly to the website and then just kind of go on the website in real time with people,
Mhm.
so.
Mhm. Yeah, and speaking of QR codes, a tangent, but uh, last time I think Sage was talking about how the real information is in the middle of the QR code. Because I had seen one that was round, and I thought, oh, he said, well, no, it's in, but then I saw one, I think it might have been in the current issue of Go Local, something about Valentine's Day, and it had a little heart in the middle of the QR code.
They're getting creative.
I don't know.
I just got an email from shipping. I guess USPS is gonna start using them too instead of big barcodes.
Hmm.
They're gonna have a little square on their
Oh, okay.
packages.
Yeah. Hmm.
So this is some of the, like irregular packages that get cut off. So,
What's that? The post office?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, having them call up the website on their phones, that's a good.
yeah, kind of makes it interactive too.
Yeah, and then they have it on their phone, hopefully, unless they go backwards and delete it, but hopefully it stays on there.
And then, after that is the master plan. Actions, again, it's you again, Marissa, and Inga.
Yeah, so I have a phone call scheduled tomorrow with Inga to kind of review, because she has like an idea of what she'd like to run through, and I have an idea of what I'd like to run through, so
Mhm.
we're just gonna make sure we kind of have a little flow, a little structure.
Yeah, yeah, okay, good. And I think it can be loose, if that's the right word.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we don't have to be like scripted.
Yeah, we don't wanna pull a PVPC on them and like talk at them, you know, we
Yeah.
wanna.
We're supposed to be having a dialogue.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly, that's what I'm gonna make sure that we kind of do similar to the website, kind of engage people, so.
Yeah, and then how can we help you? What would you like to see your AgCom do? And we thought that would be probably the bulk of the forum would be a half an hour, you know, for that type of thing. And
I have
maybe
a
this-
question.
No, sure.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I know it's on the website and other, social media or whatever, but do we have something that's gonna say or show that we could give them if they want to take like upcoming events, like the grant rating and then,
Okay, like a handout, you mean, or something?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it on your website?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all getting put on, we just made the events page live, so it should be,
So we can show them that.
yeah.
Or maybe I can print that page and then I'll
Yeah.
just make copies.
but you know, a handout wouldn't be bad.
Well, there's already a handout for the library, the library's made a handout for it, right?
Right,
So
true,
can we just
true.
print copies of, I mean, that's a really nice graphic that the library made.
I'm gonna get one.
Yeah,
Maybe we can just print some of those.
I can just get copies from one.
or I was
She's the
wondering,
director.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, I think
Or
that would be
Heather,
nice to
she's the
hand out, you're
director.
right, it is nice to give people something tangible.
Just in case, you know?
Yeah, because I'm using that graphic that Bert sent out in an attachment, to post up on the website, because it is so nice,
Yeah.
but if we print that, that's a good idea,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
I
yeah.
agree.
And then we don't have anything for the succession planning yet, but that's not until the end of February. You know, anyway, so we'll get there. Well, I was gonna say, when we had the interactive or the dialogue in that last section, what I'm hoping we can do is really get into some kind of nitty gritty stuff with the farmers about, you know, bylaws that cause them trouble or, you know, other things like help them.
Yeah, regulations. stuff
Yeah,
like that.
regulations. I mean, that's like really nitty gritty stuff. And if they have a lot of questions about that, there's a little workload there, you know, to do the research. I had a question from one farmer about, housing, foreign, you know, like H1 visa, foreign, employees. And, so that might be something I might ask the farmers.
Is that like what Dwight does?
Yeah, yeah, if they've had
Yeah.
experience with that.
Yeah, he does it We're still doing it.
Yeah.
I think Lenita did that this year.
Yeah,
too.
she did,
Hmm. Oh, okay. Oh,
I
good.
missed those guys.
yeah.
Yeah, we did that. They were fun.
I think Tom McLaughlin does it, but I'm not sure if he's in Southwick. Or is he in Westfield, that farm?
Hmm.
Oh, that's right in front of B-side Farm, right?
It's right on the line.
Yeah, I think that's technically Southwick
Yeah.
still, yeah.
Um, does anybody have an email address for him? We could invite him if we have an email address.
He's been invited in the past to this event, because he lives
Yeah.
near me, so
Okay,
I don't know, he didn't respond last year, but we can try to send him something this year. I can ask Alex Prifty because he's his neighbor, so I know that they talk sometimes, and that's how I sent him the invite last year.
This is probably the only month of the year that he isn't busy.
Pretty much.
right. Yeah. Well, speaking of, who's coming and who's not, we have about 10 people signed up so far. Dwight and Karen Arnold, Dave and Melissa Prifty, although I don't know about Alex yet. Lindsay Hale from Firefly Fields, Shauna Sperry from Second Eden, which is a new farm. So there's about, about 10 so far. I'm assuming we're gonna hear from some additional people. But that is kind of another reason to move upstairs, because if we're all here, except for Jessica, who just had the baby, that's 11 of us. And so if we have 10 or 15 people in the audience, so that's only 25 or so people, and certainly the land use room
Yeah,
can hold that many.
we'll still be comfortable.
Yeah, yeah. And Lenita responded and said she thought that would be plenty of room, for food and everything.
I would say we probably have more audience chairs in here. Well, they're not all set up, I guess, but
Yeah,
Say if there was a lot of people up there, could we get extra chairs from rooms up there?
mhm.
and then there's a stack there too.
No, I get it. They're already up there. Come get these.
Right.
Yeah, I think our regular room might be,
I think it'll be fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
That library was packed last year.
Yeah, it was.
yeah. And it was making Lynn very nervous because they can only have 40 people. We were at like 36, 37 or something like that. Yeah, I mean, including us,
I know we had- Some of the selectmen came last year too.
I would say it was more.
Yeah.
Coming this year,
Yeah, I
Doug was
Russ was
there.
there, Doug was there. Do we invite them? Should we invite them?
Yeah, I haven't sort of officially yet, but I'm going to. I did include Southwick Florist on the email that I sent out. On the emails, plural.
We should invite Joe.
Well,
I think I saw his email in there.
yeah, it
I
was,
think he
yeah,
was invited, yeah.
yep. He's in there twice, actually. Info@Malicious Farm and Didi family.
Good. Hope he comes.
Yeah, I mean,
Good idea on the select board,
Yeah.
though. I mean, we should extend a formal invite to the select board, all 3 members. I think that's.
yeah, yeah.
And
And
no conservation commission.
And conservation too. You could call.
Is that who's up there right now?
Yeah,
it's actually
Community.
community preservation, but some of them are on conservation as well. Invite. Yeah, I printed on earlier the select board, and of course, they didn't meet this past Monday, holiday, but, yeah, we'll get to them. CPC,
Who were you saying we were invited to the historic?
Oh, yeah.
oh, yeah, the Historical
In
Society,
April,
monthly meeting.
So what do they want?
Well, our topic is farming in Southwick.
you're presenting.
Present day.
Well, that's the thing, I mean,
Broad.
that topic, we can say,
Do all of it.
we can say pretty much anything we want.
I think there's the dinner too. I think there's a dinner.
Yeah, I think so, yeah, so, soon as the forum's over, we can start thinking about that specifically.
Okay.
And, yeah.
There's
is it-
another, you can invite them. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we
Hmm,
yeah.
should, because they were partners for Open Farm Day
We're
with it.
making history.
Well,
They
right.
should record it.
Give them something to write.
Right?
Yeah.
A question about the promotional flyer that we had, that I sent out last week. I'm sorry, I couldn't make the last meeting. I put it up in those few places around town. Do we have any update of where else, other folks might have posted?
Jen has done some.
Oh, I was gonna thank you for the list that you did. So I took the list that you didn't do and I went there, and they were very welcoming. They were like, yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
do you have
great.
two? Do you have, you know?
Yeah.
So I also put one at Riley's Auto.
Oh,
And they were like, they don't have a public area, but they actually put it up and there was a guy there that actually was like, what's that all about? You know, they were questioning, I was like, oh, that's cool, you know, so he seemed like a farmer because he was dressed like one. I can't assume, but, but yeah, so, the post office had one, like you put one up there.
Okay.
The Chevelle's mobile, the farm family, insurance.
oh, they said yes?
Yeah.
Oh, great,
Yeah, well,
okay.
they gave it to office manager, but I'm sure
Yeah.
that they'll post it up.
Okay.
And then, let's see, I know there's others, I had the list. Oh, boy. Yeah, where's the other one?
I need to go,
You did what, Tractor Supply?
yeah,
Yes.
I need to go back to IBS because the manager was not there, so I kept playing kind of exchange with them and they can be a little bit particular sometimes.
Yeah. At Tractor Supply, that was, the manager wasn't there?
No,
Oh.
IBS.
Oh, IBS,
IBS,
okay.
so I can do that tomorrow,
Yeah.
actually,
Oh,
hopefully.
sorry, I didn't-
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and
because I was
then,
gonna do that, but I've just been playing like, oh, tag with the managers, they want to approve everything. so.
and the notch was yesterday.
So notch, that's right,
Yeah,
oh,
so
great.
they
Hey,
were-
how are ya?
But they had.
Yeah, some places are really
Yeah,
strict, you
they
know.
didn't have official area,
Yeah.
but, I know he was like, well, they all sit and have coffee and stuff in the corners, and maybe they'll put it down there, and, you know, but Chevelle's put up two, one on each end, so. And then I noticed one at Millie's, which is.
Oh, yeah, I
Oh.
put one there, yeah.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
was gonna put one there, but then he's like, oh, we already have one, I'm like, okay.
Oh, great, okay,
So,
you're
yeah.
gonna, I always wonder if like they'll take it and then like it's down a day later, so I'm
Yeah,
glad
no,
to
it's
hear
still
that
there.
it's still there, like,
Yeah.
it's just like, I don't know if they're just being nice.
Yep. I tried Ocean State and Big Y, but they're.
Big Y won't.
Yeah, they don't
Big
do
Y
it.
doesn't
They won't,
Yeah.
so.
It's good to have,
Okay.
you never know.
They used to have a public
Used to,
Yeah.
a long time
posting,
ago.
but not anymore, so.
I put, a couple at each entrance, not a couple at each, but one at each entrance here to town hall. I posted one at, Balance Beauty Bar, the hair salon. And I took some to, I took the flyer and some farm trail brochures to Daily Grind, and they said, well, we'll run it by the manager, so. Well, I'll probably go along with it, I think. So these are flyers for the,
I
for
figured,
next week. Yeah. So,
Did we ever get to the power, equipment place?
Oh, yes, that's the other one. Yeah, he
great,
posted
okay.
it right up on where the cash register was.
cool.
So
Awesome, yeah.
I asked him, he was very good about it. That's, sorry, that's. the
No,
one.
that's great.
So
That's
it's right
the
up.
places that farmers might go to,
Yep.
but I will go to IBS tomorrow.
Yep.
And get that done. If there's any other places folks think of, let me know, or, you know, if you have the attachment, feel free to print it out, but.
okay. So that's just 1, 2, 3, 4.
I was just wondering, sorry to have like deviated the conversation, but when you said we've only had like 10 registrations so far with 1 week to go, I'm wondering if like we need to do a different form of distribution of the event, or maybe people are late registries or like.
How many people actually registered last year compared to how many showed up?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Right, probably more.
Maybe people
There
just
are
showed
many
up and
people
never
that
even.
Some people definitely just showed up.
Yeah.
I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was more than 10 pre-registered. There were 3 people from Granville that I haven't heard from yet.
That's another thing I was gonna ask. Is there any like utility in going to the post office and town hall in Granville,
Yeah, why not?
Granby,
Country
and like,
store.
You got
Yeah.
any flyers?
Country
Do you
store.
have any more?
I don't have any on me now, but,
We could print some, you know.
I can get maybe some this weekend and then run up to Granville, put it in the country store.
yeah.
That's a good.
Cause I specifically made the flyer this year to say, open to all and, I think, I can't remember what I said specifically, I was like, all welcome, including local farmers, because I didn't want to, I thought last year, that was a big surprise, we had Granville farmers come down.
Yeah, we
I
did.
was like, I'm not just gonna put Southwick farmers, like any local farmers, it can be people from Granby or,
Holland.
Holland, you
I don't
know?
if there's any.
I know.
Kind of rocky.
Yeah, rock farms. But I mean, I think it'd be
That's a good
good to
idea.
open it to, you know,
Yeah.
local.
I thought I had
Well,
another
if you have
copy.
the list of attendees from last year,
Mhm.
because people had to sign in,
Mhm.
we asked them to.
Yep,
We could at least bounce it up against who's registered, and if they're having, if they're not matching, we could always reach out directly, like separately through the AgCom.
That's what they registered yet?
no, and then there were three from the, Diane Gale came, and, she's
Mm.
part of that, and then, Donna and, husband, yeah. Yeah, so hopefully they'll come.
I mean, last year we went through the 61A list and manually sent,
Oh,
that's what I did. I
right.
printed this out.
Right, right,
And then I
right.
sent a copy of this and the farm brochure to everybody's mailing address on 61, who's receiving 61A tax breaks.
Mhm.
And I sent one to Roger that way, like I saw the Connecticut address, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna make any sense to them. I had no idea who your family was, I was like, but he's
Oh,
registered as a 61A, and that's kind of how
Mhm.
we spread the word last year, a lot of people did come that way, but,
It's probably a little late to mail in.
well, that's it, yeah, but I think snail mail does work sometimes with older farmers,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Couple of us could just take names of certain farms that may not have registered that we know came last year. We could,
just.
like, we're out and about. I mean, we could always go by and just hand them a flyer and just say,
Right.
hey, just so you know, if you didn't register, you're welcome to come without registering, but.
Right, or leave them in their
Yeah, just
mailbox,
or a
like,
paper tube, yeah.
yeah. That's what I might do with Tommy McLaughlin, for instance, like, he lives on Klein, like, next to the person, so I might just leave.
Yeah.
The
put it in
flyer.
Mailbox.
Yeah, I might leave it in his mailbox, I think I'll do that.
Pretty sure my father-in-law is not gonna come.
No?
Yeah, I figured as much, yeah, because where?
Why not?
does he live? He's on the coast, right?
No, he's in East Hartford.
Or East
I mean,
Hartford.
he'll probably be up here that day, but I'm sure he's not
Yeah.
gonna stay for the evening.
I don't blame him.
He might.
You could come for the snacks.
I'll offer it up.
Donuts?
He may be interested.
Yeah, we entice him with donuts, yeah.
Then I gotta provide dinner though.
Oh. Different story
Oh,
then.
he eats it up donuts too.
No, he's got his place, the house over there.
So we were talking about handouts, so back on that topic, Marissa, do you think, we talked a little bit about having a handout about the, master plan?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you wanna, are we
Yeah,
gonna
it
use the
does work.
same one for, that we did with the town meeting?
Well, town meeting one just doesn't have enough, I think, about ag, right? Cause I
Right,
put
it
it
doesn't,
down.
I mean, it has on one side, it has,
Yeah, so I was just going to take you had mentioned kind of reusing something like that.
yeah. it has-
So I was I thought for the sake of, efficiency, the idea was that was like one 8.5 by 11 that we just cut
Right,
in half,
that net,
right?
right, yep,
So I was just gonna use a similar format to that and
yeah,
just
that,
like
okay, great,
jazz it up.
yeah,
And I still have the, agricultural action items that, Norm gave us at the end of the master plan.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna pick the most relevant ones, cause
Okay.
there's 40 items. I'm not gonna put all 40. Some of them really don't pertain to us per se. It's like, we're like a supporting, commission. So it's like, there was one that I was reading today that was like, start a beautification committee, that we would support that. That's not necessarily like our purview, it'd be more of the master plan implementation committee, and we'd be a supporting one, but it's counted under one of our 40. I was like, I'm not sure, we might not have time to explain to people what that all means. So I think I would just
True.
pick, and in the interest of space and people's own bandwidth, like the
Mhm,
juicier, more interesting points that,
mhm.
what do folks think about that? I mean, if you want me to put all 40 down, I'll find a way to squeeze it, but people might just.
I think
So,
Yeah,
bit
be
much.
too much.
I think what you're saying makes a lot of
Put the
sense.
balance on the website, you know what I mean? Pick out the key ones like you said, and then just say, hey,
That's a
this is
great-
just kind of an excerpt
Yeah.
of the key ones, but all the ones that we would even, or have been deemed to be
That's a-
partly associated with, you know, you can go see them at the AdCom website.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Great, and then, that's what we're talking about, the audio visual part, or the visual part of the year in review.
Yep.
So I don't know if you've been.
I
receiving
haven't
any-
looked at it yet.
Okay.
I will by the end of the week. I'll have
Yes, okay.
what the proposal is. And so we're gonna do it in the other room.
Yeah. Oh, good point. What are we gonna project onto? I'm not
Well,
sure.
let me, so what I want
There's a
to,
screen in there?
I think.
I mean,
there-
there's the little projector on the corner.
Yeah, I
But-
think there is a screen. No?
I mean, worst case, I'll bring a TV. I mean, whatever.
Well, there's two TVs in there.
Yeah, so you,
Yeah.
like, the way I did what, you know, at my father-in-law's place. I had an iPad with an HDMI connector that went to an iPad that I ran it off the iPad onto the screen. So I obviously have that adapter. I have, I don't know, like everyone, like 1,000
Well, we're not doing, we're not doing,
Right, so.
we're not doing Zoom, so the laptop doesn't have to be hooked up.
So we could do it
Or we
on,
can swap it
do
with
it on
that.
those. I could come over one day during the week too and test. Just, you know, I'll make sure it works smoothly. So I just gotta figure out, is it iPad? Is it a computer? Off of Google Docs? I just gotta figure out which one of those and then we'll go.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm not overly concerned. And I wanna, you know, pasting pictures into PowerPoint and it's just, very
Takes
time
time.
consuming.
Yeah,
So if we can leverage like a photo library, a gallery, whatever, whether it's Google Docs or, you know, photos library on
mhm.
an iPhone or an iPad, much easier. And, you know, it just applies its own music, or we could have it silent, whatever we want to do. You know, I think that's probably the best for everyone. But again, if you do have pictures and they're not out in that Google Doc,
Mhm.
Google Drive that you had sent out,
Yeah, I'm trying to
Um,
think if there's any other place where I might have some more.
I have some, but it's obviously from our place.
Yeah.
So I can put some of those. I know there's also some that people put out there.
Yeah. Well, you gotta definitely show the family and all the matching t-shirts. I mean,
That's pretty
She's already looking for
impressive.
this year's t-shirts.
Oh, really? Fun.
Now, can we add to the Google?
I think if I make it an
Yeah.
open album, right?
I tried getting it. I went into it and it wasn't open, so
Okay,
You'd
so
have to-
just, I'll change the permissions on it, is that
Yeah.
all I need to do?
I
Okay,
might have to invite people to it. I don't know.
I might, yeah, okay, let me.
Or you can just share the link to our group text or something.
Okay. So that would just be like, yeah, the actual Google, where all the photos are now, opening that up.
Yeah.
okay. Will do.
Well, I was gonna say, Tom, if you're not concerned, we're not concerned.
I am confident I'll figure it out fairly quick order. Even if it's one of my kids' iPads that I bring all the pictures into.
Dad, where are you going with my iPad?
Exactly. Well, you got your phone for today.
And you can throw everything on a thumb drive and just use the laptop
Yeah.
that's up there.
Hmm. Okay. Any, anything else for the forum that we can?
We gotta
Oh.
get team shirts, I think.
Alright.
Yeah.
Not, obviously, I think will be tough to get for next week, but, you know, like, it would be nice to have like name tags maybe, like so
Yeah,
people
you
know
said you'll
who
have
we
to-
are, or commissioner, I don't know if I
Yeah.
missed, so I'm
So I'm gonna
sorry.
do some
late, but
quick, like
Oh, my
name tags
name
for
is
the
okay.
desk, you know, put on the table. Yeah.
might be good to have stickers. The only reason I'm thinking that is if we're socializing,
Yeah,
the table
I think we
names
did
don't,
last year.
they're irrelevant, you know?
yeah, that,
You were handing them out.
Yep.
yeah, we had everybody wear name tags, right? Audience
Yeah.
members and AdCom, right? That's the way to go, I think, if it's small.
At least print ours out that say commissioner,
Right,
you know, so
Yeah,
they
so-
know
so they
that
know
we're
who we are.
supporters versus colleagues,
Yeah, yeah.
or both.
Where are we gonna put all the snacks and stuff?
Well, toward well, there's a table on the side there.
Yeah,
How many people came last year?
35-ish.
And what's the,
Still
so
fine.
say we get that amount again, is that room still sufficient to
Oh,
hold?
yeah.
that
Oh,
many?
yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
That's fine.
I'll bring a tablecloth, like, just so that way it de-sterilizes the room a little
The other
bit, like something
Last year,
farmy
I heard
looking.
it's probably-
No?
Oh, good, so it's tight.
It's like-
This is great, I mean,
Yeah.
I've only been in here to vote.
Yeah, that's what Jen was saying.
It doesn't really look the same, because you're, you know, it doesn't look big.
Facades are all good.
yeah.
Dividers.
So I'm sure if we need to, we can add a table.
Yeah,
Upstairs,
Do we have to request that ahead of time?
yeah.
I have a folding 6-foot table, that's only
Okay.
3 feet, I mean, super easy to.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of them right there.
Right.
So, I mean, we already have this room reserved, so we can steal from it all
Set
we
it
want.
up.
No,
Okay,
building and grounds people
okay, cool.
are supposed to do it.
Okay.
So,
What they get paid for.
But they probably have to be during regular business hours, I'm guessing.
but we'll know tomorrow, you said, if upstairs is
yeah,
open.
and if
Okay.
there is somebody in there, I'll see if I can negotiate and
Yeah,
get
yeah,
them out of there.
I mean, this wouldn't be terrible if we have to use
Right.
it.
Right.
The acoustics are a little weird, but
yeah.
Yeah, they are. Especially, well, we're not gonna have Zoom, but,
we do have microphones, so.
yeah. Right. Right. Okay. Well, a bunch of little details, but I think, I think we know what we're doing, pretty much.
So the land use room is typically open during the week? I'm guessing?
Oh, yeah.
Like if I just wanted to come over and say test run or whatever.
Yeah,
once,
Yeah,
you know.
if you had some idea, you know, if it was gonna be Monday afternoon or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you could give them a heads up, but,
Is the calendar
Who do I
posted
have to talk
online?
to? Like,
Check to see if it's used like
I
on the
don't
website.
know. if the
It's
calendar-
almost empty for next week, like no posted agendas or anything. As of yesterday, at least.
Are we gonna need somebody down here at this door saying, no, we changed, we're up at round back up in one?
Well, I was thinking if we did end up doing that change, then I would just print out a bunch of the existing flyers so people know, oh, that's it, and then put like a note on top, like
Yeah.
upstairs land use room. Like at every
Put a note
entrance.
on these doors.
Yeah, at every single entrance, just so that way, and like arrows so that people know how to find the land use room.
Right.
Like keep going this way, you know, like continue.
We could have ushers.
That's true.
Yeah, you know, the first time in here, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it might not be bad to have maybe one of the commissioners down here too, just
Just in
to,
case.
you know,
Yeah.
help shepherd if somebody,
Yeah.
you know. For
Not a bad idea.
now, I don't think they're gonna come too early, so. we
What
have-
time does it start? 5 or 6?
5:30,
5:30.
yeah,
What time is it?
and the actual meeting starts at
We're gonna be
6.
here by 5.
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
We'll be here
yeah.
at 5:30, okay.
Yeah. And Tom, you were talking about getting in the building, Lisa Anderson in the select board office is the one who schedules the rooms. I don't know if the calendar's online, it
I don't know if
certainly
they
should,
use it.
it certainly should be, but I don't.
Well, I'd just go find her and just,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna pop in there and
yeah.
play around for a half hour or whatever, and just make sure
And I don't think there's much going on during the day here, yeah, so, I mean, the offices where people are working, yeah.
I up front, busy.
Yeah.
There.
Right.
The recording machine.
It's busy, I see it.
Yeah, Good. And the only other thing on our agenda for tonight is the budget.
Yeah, I mean, our meeting's on the website.
Okay, yeah, good.
Reservation committee is,
Anything for next Wednesday, Casey?
so tiny, my fingers keep it low. No, so it's only, nothing, only like the days that have stuff on them, have links on
Okay, yeah,
them. So like the 24th, there's nothing there.
good.
25th. Local Emergency Planning Committee. So we should be on there though.
Yeah, we should still, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
just in
It's
case-
weird that we're
yeah,
not.
you're right. Well, something, you know, what happens.
Is it because it's not a Zoom meeting and they don't want to put it on there then?
I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe because it's considered more of an event.
Because the cultural council is in person only and they have it on
It's
there.
on the town
Oh,
website.
Then we should, I mean,
Yeah.
either way,
Well,
it's a town event, we should be on the calendar.
Sometimes things fall through the cracks, like our agenda tonight didn't get posted online until like today. But it had been posted physically in the clerk's office and a few other places, so we were legit, you know, to meet.
We should have our snow day also posted.
Yeah.
Looks clear. Hope so.
Yeah, clear and cold next week, right?
Mhm.
Or, I don't know.
It's not gonna get too warm.
It's gonna be 40 on Monday.
Woo-hoo.
For a question about the little master plan flyers, if I send out the graphic file, do we have a plan for how to get them printed and cut in time for the event on Wednesday? How do we do it for the master plan? Do you remember?
Yeah, we printed them here.
Okay, here.
Again, Lisa Anderson in the select board office printed them. I think she cut them too, come to think
Oh,
of
wow.
it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's one stop shop.
Yeah.
Okay. We wouldn't need nearly as many as what we needed for the high school. so,
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah, we had 300, was it, something like that?
maybe
Yeah.
50.
Yeah, maybe 50 would be more than enough, I think, yeah.
Okay,
Now, how many, gifts do we got so far?
well, 3 from Zach, from Big Y, 2, I'm sorry. And, Inga Hoteling is contacting some people, but I haven't heard yet who she's,
I'll try to work on that too. I can always give one from Terra Americana.
There you go.
okay. You have some connections there?
Yeah. I know the woman. Did you get that poster?
Oh my gosh, I did. Yes, I ordered a frame for it, just you wait and
It's a
see it.
cool.
Oh,
I
it's
see
a-
that one self framed up.
he knows I'm a big Star Trek fan and
Oh, cool.
yeah, I ended up getting a Star Trek poster for Christmas, so thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. And I think, see if you agree, that these door prizes can be fairly nominal, you know, it doesn't. You know, like the big Y ones are $10, right? So.
Yeah,
I think it's like
$20.
25, it's like,
Yeah, 20, 25.
IRS.
Yeah.
It was.
I think it's 50 now, but
Yeah,
depends how it is.
so.
We're not.
I'll go talk to a couple of
Passing them
restaurants. I know
along.
some people.
No, we had,
Okay,
you know,
that'd be awesome.
where I worked.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's gotta be under
Good to have
like
half a dozen of them.
$20, or then you gotta report it and paychecks and stuff.
Oh.
Not worth
Cause
it.
Really?
20 also, you give me 20, no one just goes spends 20, especially at a restaurant
Right.
nowadays, so.
Right,
Get you one drink.
you can go to McDonald's for that.
Not
For
much.
one person.
No, you won't. My son.
Yeah, for a small meal.
Unless you use the app.
Right.
Oh, I know.
I get a lot of free stuff.
I won't do that.
I-
What's that, McDonald's?
McDonald's app,
You
I
get
have
a lot.
Everywhere.
Oh, really?
I
Taco
don't wanna
Bell,
go to
yeah.
McDonald's
What,
anymore.
like an
Yeah.
extra fry or something?
You get a full large fry, which is like $6, like if you look, like my son,
$6 for
he's
a large
into
fry.
McDonald's right now, so I open the app and it's like free stuff, like every single day you can use it.
If you buy something, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right, you gotta buy something, get it, but still, you save some money.
Saving half, right? I mean,
Everyone's trying
Have
to
so
get you
many
to
free
download their
apps.
apps.
Yeah.
I won't do it either. Yeah, I know. It's like, why do you think it's a deal already? I'm already here, you know?
Like they used to do. Actually,
It's been built airplane for
Yeah.
in July.
18 years.
Really?
For you guys, Collins.
Hopefully not from home. The plug.
Oh,
Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
nothing to do with us.
Saw a cartoon the other day, which said, Boeing on the plane, and it said, and the flight attendant was given the little spiel, and said, in the event of the door blowout, wrenches will drop from the ceiling, so you can tighten the nuts.
Need engine parts.
Yeah, it's for Pratt.
For Collins, mostly Collins.
Awesome.
Let's see, so for the budget, we're supposed to get it in by February 2nd, so, a week or so. Yeah, a week from Friday, no, 2 weeks from Friday, that's good. So we we get a year-to-date budget, every month, and it's still not up to date. We were talking last time, it doesn't, Sage had expenses from Trunk or Treat, he had expense for the website hosting,
Mhm.
and those are still not reflected, so it's tricky to
Is it calendar year or a fiscal?
fiscal year.
So July. to-
July 1
Yeah,
to
yeah.
June 30. So I'm gonna, look into that, see if we can get updated numbers.
Well, we know what his numbers are though, right? We know what he submitted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should.
And we know he actually submitted them.
Yep.
So what's gonna be left over? Anything to put into the garden fence?
Read posts.
Yeah, well, so far it's showing that we have $950 for supplies, and we haven't spent any of it.
I was actually on Facebook Marketplace yesterday. There's a company in Springfield that has the 275 gallon totes for $75 a piece. They'll deliver to the surrounding
Oh.
area for a small fee.
Huh.
Totes for what, to hold the water?
Yeah, the big ones in the metal crates.
Yeah, oh, good.
So get a couple of those maybe.
It's like a skid, you pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just in that metal caging thing and
Right.
big plastic
So I think
totes.
it's got a skid platform.
I might, I
underneath.
don't know. I didn't look that closely.
And they're only $75?
That's what it looked like.
Wow.
There's some other ones that are cheaper, but they're out of state, so I figured we probably can't buy those.
All right, okay,
We shouldn't.
yeah.
We'll keep it local, right?
That's awesome.
And we still have, even though the budget, we're submitting the budget in a couple of weeks, and then the budget hearings with the finance committee and select board, that's last year, they're in early March. So we come and, talk about what we think we're gonna do. But the garden could take some money. I was, just looking around online on Google. And we talked about, galvanized fence posts. They're about $30 a piece.
Oh, get as many as we can.
It's not that
And
bad.
there's currently 55 fence posts. So that comes to $1,650.
What if we do half this budget, half the next budget?
Mhm.
Right. We could Mickey Mouse.
So they all do.
Or we just hold on to them until July 1st and we
Yeah.
put them all in, we have a fence party or something.
Yeah, or do,
Dance party.
yeah. Or do, you were saying, Dan, do one side.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
day.
tear one side out, put it in. Next time we got people in time, we do one other
Mhm.
side.
So if we ordered those before the budget hearing, could we say we've used all the money up? Because I know that they're pretty strict when it comes to giving us more. If they see
Right.
that there's like any money left, they
Right.
always
At
like
least
to
we-
see that we
we say
use
we
like
have
every
on order,
cent.
yeah.
At
Yeah.
least use every cent of it before we ask for
Yep.
anything more.
And this year in particular, they used to do, level funded, 5 or 10% additional and 5 or 10% less. This year, they only want level funded, so It'll be tricky to get
Except for the.
more than we got
Yeah.
last year.
We at least have to use what we have.
I don't know, that's my tax thing that came in,
I know.
everything went up.
Well, that means we gotta get more.
And then, Dan looked at a gas water pump. At Harbor Freight for $289.
Yeah,
So I looked at another one, after I wrote that down, I was searching more, there's one for $44.
Well,
It's on wheels.
how reliable is that gonna be though?
They had a picture of it, they had a video of it. It
Huh.
was spraying some water.
From where though? From Harbor Freight?
Yeah,
You probably wanna get a
Gas
protection
powered or
plan on it or something, but
okay, so it's $60.
Another-
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
no, it's worth it.
Yeah.
And I got the member,
Just say I'm sorry.
member card there,
Gas
so.
or-
Yeah,
I can get a discount on
that's
that.
what we need, cause we don't have electric there. It's
Get a
got wheels
periodic
on it, you put your right down to the
25%
brook.
coupon.
$44?
Give it to you guys.
The thing is, the one thing.
Is it electric or is it motor?
It's
Got
gas.
engine? Yeah,
So, I looked at it and it's got special hoses, so there's another expense, but
you probably adapt it though.
we could figure something out.
Okay.
I can 3D print an adapter.
Another thing you could look at, I mean, I don't know what the town's like capitalization policy is. Like, you could buy it as a capital equipment and then,
Hmm,
so if we spent the $250 and it was a better piece of equipment, again, I know what my company does, but the town, I don't know if they have a lower amount and then you just like depreciate it over time. I mean, we can do it faster, but buy the better one, because,
Yeah, we want something that's
Yeah,
gonna
we-
last.
Yeah,
Right,
something
right.
reliable.
Not like the. wood-
So if we had
fence post.
250 in the budget, we did it, and we get to just, town can depreciate it and say, hey, it was capital. You don't eat that whole cost within the town for a full year.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
Can we decide what we're gonna use on that money? So that way, by the time we get to the budget hearing, we can say it has been spent.
And.
Yeah,
Do we need quotes or anything like
I
that?
was just looking at.
yeah, we
No,
would.
Because-
Yeah, you're supposed to get the quote before they'll do
Because
the
maybe
PO.
I did buy in.
But we can take a vote to at least.
Yeah, or someone could just buy it and turn in the receipt, right?
You can get a better one too.
Buy it and what?
Someone could turn in the receipt,
Oh, sure,
Just
yeah,
to-
yeah.
get it paid that way.
Yeah, as long as we just
Yeah.
take a vote that we're gonna spend that money on a set thing, and then we agree to use
Yeah,
the 900 of. Because are we asking for more than 900 for
No.
next year? What are
We
we?
wanna get signage for Farm Day and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we have 3 line items, so it's $950 for supplies,
Okay,
which we haven't used yet. Open Farm Day, $1,500.
I thought we paid for that though.
We did mostly. We used $997, so there's $502 left. But we had a lot of sponsorships, covered all the. We have the
Could
advertising.
we spend money before? So we could do advertising, get new signs, whatever we may need to do to keep, like, to your point.
right.
Yeah.
because we
I
don't-
mean,
Use it or,
we
you
did buy-
gotta look at it, use it or lose it,
Yeah,
right?
or if
Why
they
is the
see that we
budget
didn't
hearing
use
so
it
far
all the
away
year
from
before, they give us left even the next year.
Right, so
So,
use it or
That's
lose
a
it.
good question.
That doesn't make sense.
what's that?
Why is the budget hearing so far away from June 30th?
Mysteries of mysteries.
Well, they want it in place on June, the next year's
Yeah.
budget in place.
Well, and it goes to
Know
town
what-
meeting
Yeah.
in May, so, but still.
We've got a couple months to spend
March to May
money.
is kind of-
Well, the whole,
Especially
so again,
agricultural, we can't do things in the ground. It's frozen.
well, what I might propose when we're going to this, even if we haven't decided what we wanna do, I
Mhm.
don't think we have to commit to anything yet. But say, hey, this is what we spent,
Mhm.
this is what we intend to spend, this is where we're gonna end up. So we don't have to like all of a
Yeah.
sudden run out and order the galvanized steel
Well,
post,
that's
order
it,
the thing.
exactly, yeah. As long
But
as
you
can
say, hey,
show.
look, we have this vision and this is part of our longer term vision. We're gonna refresh the public garden. We're gonna get a motor and pump. We're gonna pre-fund some of the open farm day stuff. And you just lay that out and you say, look, we're gonna spend everything.
Yeah, we're gonna
And
end up with
that's-
zero,
And they
yeah.
won't be able to really argue that. And you say, okay, well, for next year, we're not gonna buy a $250 pump, but hey, now we're gonna this is where we think we're gonna spend next year's budget,
So
so.
we should have
maybe-
a maintenance for the, community
Yeah,
garden.
and me, and I'm happy to take that and lead that part of, that's what I do for my job.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy to help lay all that out, cause I think we'll be more credible if we go with a long-term
I
plan.
agree.
Oh,
That's
for
not
sure.
exactly
And what
right.
do we wanna spend? What do we think we need to do over the next?
Right.
Not
Mhm.
one, 2, and 5 years? Like, what do we think we wanna spend? Do we need to go up? What do we assume for normal inflation? How does that go? And just to help whoever the head budget person is thinking about what the AgCom's gonna be asking for, right? Do we have costs related to IT, like
Yeah.
maintenance?
Website.
So we're not
that.
we're not paying out of pocket, any of us, for Instagram or Facebook or, again,
Websites.
I know a lot of,
Stuff.
website maintenance.
Yeah,
Like, how do we build all that in? So I'm happy to do that. I do
Yeah.
that day in and day out.
that would be great.
That'd be perfect.
The way you explained
In
it
fact,
is
I was
like really
gonna
persuasive.
suggest, since we're having our meeting here and we have 2 weeks, the forum is next week and then it's due in 2 weeks from Friday. So I was gonna suggest we form a subcommittee of myself, Tom, and does anybody else want to join in to work out the budget that we'll present on February 2nd? Do you want to be involved, Marissa?
Probably shouldn't. I got a lot going on,
Yeah,
so yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all
Although
right.
it is interesting stuff to me.
Well, we'll present it obviously to the
Yeah.
team, but maybe next week I'll take a look at it and kind of lay out what I think we may want to do.
Mhm, okay,
We can maybe take a small section of, like, if we have time before we have to go present, hey, what do we think we want to do besides the galvanized steel
Oh,
costs?
right, exactly.
All that, and like, if we're over budget, tell them, hey, look, this is what we're doing. We're gonna do this much this year to stay within budget, and then next year, so that's gonna carry over. Then we have these other initiatives for next year and beyond and
Right.
beyond.
Well, that's the thing. It'd be nice to kind of develop almost like a 2 or 3 year vision beyond just the next fiscal year. Because the community garden, that's going to have to be like done in parts. We're not gonna get all of the money by any means to do all the things that, I mean, I doubt we would. We can try. We always try and we always end up getting, I don't know, it varies. It depends year to
Yeah.
year, right? So,
it's a
but,
pretty big deal that we got $1,500 last year for the open farm day.
and it was a
That
totally
big- that was a
speculative
big jump.
thing. Yeah. Maybe being that successful as it was, we'll get more. I mean, I think we should ask for more this year.
Well, and I'm just thinking out loud here, but like, we had a bunch of sponsorships.
Yeah.
We should put that in there. Hey, look, we also
Yeah.
had this money and we
Right.
spent that much.
Right.
But we
That's a
had
great
had
idea.
people help
Sure.
fund it.
Yeah,
So how do we offset cost within what we're doing?
Right,
And then, hey, there's also cost associated with the master plan,
right.
like all these initiatives that, like, if you give me $2,400, I can't do master plan stuff.
You're right.
So are you giving me budget from there, or is there another one, and how do we track against that?
Yeah.
It's,
wow, I don't know, have you ever heard anybody talk about budget for the master plan stuff? I have never
I have
heard that
not. You
mentioned.
just, yeah, when you
I have
said it
not
right
heard-
now, that I was just like, wow, that's the first time anybody has
it's
mentioned
great
that.
vision. It's like, just because you have things approved doesn't mean money magically appears.
Government funded, right?
Right, right.
Pandemic funding.
Okay,
Isn't everything pandemic funding?
Hey, Dan.
Good guys.
Hi, Dan.
Have a good one, Dan.
Take care.
And my mother's birthday is the night of the farm forum.
No
Oh,
kidding,
She'll be 80 years old.
yeah.
I'm gonna have her come.
Right along.
I was gonna say,
Great to be a farmer's wife.
My
Well-
aunt's birthday.
Well, we'll have donuts
Gonna
for her.
be.
Bring her over, definitely.
Take care.
good night, Dan.
Gotta get her a cake.
I know, we should. Sing it
Yeah,
out
Dan, we'll
loud.
get her a cake.
80th birthday. That's a big deal.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I'll take you, but do that.
Ooh.
So if your document you sent out with the budget package, I'll give it a look and I'll put it in Excel, and if it's
Okay.
not already, and I'll.
It's in,
Do we have
it's
any
in Excel
I'll play around
already.
with some stuff.
income from the community garden?
Yeah.
Like the rental?
That goes into the gift account,
Oh,
what's
that's
called the
right.
gift
Okay.
account. So our budget is taxpayer dollars and then other stuff.
Do they look at our gift account at all?
Not really.
That's
not-
probably good.
yeah.
So we can't say that we have that money.
Well, they know we have it.
But we use it to offset costs that we're not asking the town to pay, right?
That's
Yeah.
where all the sponsorship money went last year, right into the
Mhm,
gift
yep,
account, yeah.
yep.
Master plan, that's huge. I had not thought of that whatsoever, but that should definitely
I
be
know.
in this.
It's
new
gotta be a
budget.
separate.
Right.
Yeah.
Dollars.
Yeah.
And that's already been explicitly stated that whether the plan gets passed or not, the committees that have action items are planning on implementing some of them officially
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think
We
that's an
certainly are.
implicit
and
understand it, right? Yeah,
Economic development is.
For
yeah,
sure.
too.
Well, I think
Sure.
once we get to that point,
Yeah.
like, once we're past the forum and all that,
Yeah.
we gotta start looking at what are those actions, what do we think they would cost?
exactly.
And then work with the economic development and make sure we're aligned, cause they're gonna have an element, we're gonna have an element, and we gotta make sure it's
Yeah, that we're,
Yeah.
appropriately aggregated, right?
Right.
Because what always happens, everyone gets in their silos,
right.
but these are meshed, right, with the economic development and
Yeah.
They're
the
interconnected. action.
so I don't, we just gotta make sure that the other, that where we're secondary
Yeah,
commissions,
right.
that they don't go forward without our input if we think we need something
Mm,
separate, because
Right.
then you're not getting a holistic view of what the total
Yeah,
cost of
holy cow. Yeah.
executing that
I
master
mean,
plan
I'm
is.
kind of laughing to myself in a kind of a, I don't know, black humor kind of way that in 2 years of meetings,
Yeah,
nobody talked about the cost of the master plan. We talked about the cost of developing the plan, you know, we paid money to Pioneer Valley Planning, Commission. But we never talked about actually doing the stuff that's in the plan.
It's not free.
That's
It's
crazy.
gotta be
Well, they also
budgeted.
said it was the implementation committee's job to find grants for it.
Yeah.
And I think that was the extent of the conversation. So a little bit Pollyanna-ish, I think, of the master plan
Yeah,
committee.
yeah. Wow.
Like, don't just get grants, it'll be their problem. Like, great.
Well, you know what, I mean, if
Fantastic.
we're able to lay it out within our 3-year vision. And hey,
Right.
these are our action items, this is what we think it would cost us to
Right.
execute our elements of the master plan.
Yeah,
At least we've made it public information. And the town leadership has to figure out
yeah.
how to help us execute that.
Right.
That's not within our budget. The master plan isn't within our budget request. We have these,
Yeah,
I'll say, more limited initiatives that we're
Yeah.
working on, supporting our community garden, which is beautiful and very well received.
Mhm.
The farm day, which is also well received.
Right.
And then if we have expansion items that we want to do, or, you know, improvement.
yeah.
If anything,
the-
it'll
the-
show that we're proactive and and we have a plan coming
Right.
together.
Well, and that would be great to talk to the, you know, obviously, we're not in a position to do it next week, but next year, or if we want to have a secondary meeting at some other point,
Mhm.
tell, you know, present even, not even the budget necessarily, but what our longer term vision is.
Mm.
You know,
That's
it's
what it
almost like a
feels
5-year
like.
plan.
Right, we're getting to the point in terms of a commission where we have a lot of good cohesion with our membership, where we're going. It almost feels like we should be talking about longitudinal planning, like two-year increments or 3-year increments or 5 years. You know, we have the farm day that's going to be an annual thing, the forum that's at the beginning of the year, just for better planning, I think, and even like membership delegation and budget
Yeah.
requests and whatnot. I just think we've gotten to that point where it's like we've kind of hit critical mass in terms of how much we're doing, what we're projecting to do. I know that it would help me as a commissioner to kind of understand what we have for the next year and still leave some space, obviously, for like things that we want to co-partner with or try out or experiment with, but I think it does, to your point, make it seem like we're at least a little bit proactive and not just like meeting month to month, or, you know,
Mhm.
Part
every
of the
2
vision,
months.
right? Part of the vision of the commission, like, okay,
Right,
we already do
yeah.
these things. What do we want to do?
Right,
And what do we want to do near term, medium term, long term?
exactly,
Yeah.
Some of it
Mhm.
should theoretically tie into the master plan,
of course.
Oh, yeah,
right?
definitely.
Of course,
So, and
right.
then if you wrap that all up, I think the town
Yeah.
leadership would,
Right.
you know, that's what we need
They
to
have to-
provide to them, right? So they can then think, if they come back and say, you didn't tell us, well, we did.
Right,
You know, we
yeah.
have this vision, and it changes every year, right? I
Well,
mean,
that's it.
your
It all
long-term
adjusts.
plan changes every year,
Sure.
right? New priorities, maybe something awesome happens and,
Right.
well, okay, we gotta Gotta call an
Shift a
audible
little.
at the line,
Yeah.
right? And
Hopefully
And
next
master
week
plans.
we'll have amazing outcome and
Yeah,
then we'll have even more things to talk
Yeah.
about.
so the master plan goes 20 years, so I think we should say, okay, in 2035,
Right.
we're gonna need this. I'm kidding. But, I think,
Actually.
kind of a rolling 5-year plan, right?
And you're still gonna be the chair, no.
So 2040 you said, right?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So Tom, we'll work on that together.
Yeah.
Budget. That's great.
so I'll take a look at what I saw it, I
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to.
I
look
didn't,
at
I
it.
couldn't believe it today. I realized, oh my God, I didn't send this to these guys. But,
I would love to
Family,
volunteer
family
to help
Uber,
concentrate on the,
family Uber
the
driving.
data. the
Okay, yeah.
data. I just want to make sure I can focus on that and make
Yeah.
sure that's like good,
Yeah,
especially with
that's
maybe more information coming in next week.
Mhm.
and things.
So are you
Right.
focusing on getting the farmer information?
Yes, all the addresses, emails, phone numbers, we have a list that we're working on together, Angie and Bert and I. So,
Yeah.
and then hopefully we'll get more registrations information next week.
Is there anything that we can do on the website side to facilitate your collection of that? Do you want us to open up a page on the website that you could direct people to that could then pool the information if they type it in electronically or if they,
That would be awesome.
like what would be
I
helpful
thought
to you?
Sage Had something, or maybe it was just the form.
We have the form, but it's
a
not,
form.
the form that's on the website currently is one to kind of collect information on heritage farms as
Oh,
well.
I
It's
see.
not, it's a
Oh,
little bit
okay.
daunting, like honestly, like I went on and I kind of like streamlined it a little bit because I was like, I don't think anybody's gonna fill this out. It's a little too onerous in terms of what it was asking.
Okay.
But what you're referring to, kind of creating like a database of
The listserv.
just like.
Something
a
that
list-
where it just automatically goes in,
Yeah,
if they're
the
registered
listserv?
for something or.
Yeah, is it like a mailing list listserv? that
Right
you
now,
can
it's
do,
just
or
an
is it
Excel
like,
spreadsheet right now.
but with the end of
currently.
having it be a listserv or like
Something that we can go to.
database of like past farms, current farms, like what's the intention, I guess?
All the farms that we're working with, currently with even new farmers coming in, and
Gotcha.
then, you know, updating it. You know, people are leaving or coming in or
Yeah.
whatever, trying to make a database so that even when we can, you know, make sure everybody has that information, so maybe other farmers can interact with other farmers or, you know, just, I don't know if it should be public. I mean, it could be public on the website, but
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know if it needs to be, but basically a database so we can just send an invite to them like we've been doing. I mean,
Yeah, we might wanna
don't
think
know.
about the implications of having it be public. I mean,
Yeah,
farmers can.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking some of the older farmers especially might not want their
Right,
information even on a
exactly.
computer,
yeah.
so.
So, I mean, I think it's basically for our use, and most of the information we have are just mostly emails. So just updating it with addresses and
Yep.
names, contact names and things like that.
So that's.
So it's just updating.
Right, that sounds like a really simple form that we could put like its own page on the website, just so that it's that much easier for people to be directed there.
Mhm.
And say, hey, you know, you do want to, effectively like almost having them sign up to a listserv, right, Tam? That's what you're saying, like, please input your name,
Mhm.
your email and the name of your farm and your address, and, you know, you'll be added to like our mailing list, but, you know, we won't spam you, and this will also be kind of like our database
That'd
of
be great.
contacts. So
Yeah,
I can make a page like that on the website, and
that'd
then
be awesome.
if you want to have a mention during the farm forum next week and
Sure.
like explain why you're collecting that and encourage people to, when we get to that part of the discussion on the website, like you said, like, it's just, you know, if you enter your information here, this is where it's going, you can kind of assure them, like, we're not gonna sell it.
Right,
we're not
right,
gonna,
yeah.
Spam you. That
It's
way
just
you
a way to contact you if we have any information of, events
Exactly.
coming up or, information, whether, you know, any of us have something from other commissions that we want to share with them, you know.
Yeah.
I think hearing it
That'd be
from
awesome.
a human being will reassure any of the concerns that folks do have with privacy and
Or
contact
maybe even asking
information.
them, like, do you not want to be on this and find out why?
Right,
Right.
and we
So
can,
we
we
try to
can put
avoid
like a
that
do
in the
not,
future.
like,
do not solicit or.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can also add that
Want us to
option, yeah.
Yeah,
contact
could you
you.
have, do not share my info,
Yeah.
check.
Yeah, it'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
so
know,
kind of
yeah,
something on there,
like
that would be
whenever
great.
we do.
Not to add to your list of
Yeah.
things.
Keep adding to it.
I know. They believe us.
Public information anyway, but just having it broadcast.
You know, like if you kind of manage that, I can
Yeah.
easily add a webpage to it, but it'll be your baby, so.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, yeah, we're all working on it together, which Angie made it a cloud shareable format, so, which is, once one update happens, and it happens all the time, which is great.
Yeah.
That's very helpful, so I didn't know how to do that, but she helped me with that, so it was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good start, you know, and maybe like I said, you know, next week, maybe we'll get a little bit more information now.
Yeah, we should, yeah, and that's, you know, needless to say, a much needed
Yeah,
tool.
yeah, exactly. And just, you know, get more information out to the farmers, and maybe at some point they can contact us, you know, with anything that they need. So,
Yeah, it's one of the keys, right? If we have a direct line, hey, if we can help, or you think we can help with anything.
We're
Bert's the
here.
guy, whether it's the website and Bert.
Yeah, yeah,
that filters to all of us,
Yeah.
but you know, we need to develop that rapport with all of them, like.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
so they have some place to go, some people to talk to about things,
Hmm,
you know.
right.
and that we're on their side. You know.
Exactly.
Or I did have a question, so we have the signs in town. The
Yeah, oh,
electric signs,
Yeah, down by Gristmill Plaza, yeah.
do we wanna, like, I don't know who runs that, but can we advertise the farm forum on those?
I don't see why not, yeah, it's a guy
I mean, it would
named,
be-
Channel 15, right?
yeah, Ken
Well,
Stotsky is the guy.
does he run that, they run that too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm just thinking that sign, I mean, you can't miss it, when
Right.
especially if you're at the light, you know,
Right.
like either way, you could see it and
Yeah, just put Farmers Forum,
Yeah.
date, time, location,
Mhm,
try to get it all on one page.
sure.
We did it for soccer registration, we've done it for basketball registration.
Yeah, of course we should do that,
So
like,
might
yeah.
not hurt, especially in the last week, and say, hey, can we run this? Like periodically, I don't know how it would
Right.
work with the
Yeah, you sort of
software,
get-
if they have multiples. but
Yeah,
I'm
they
sure
do,
if
Yeah.
it's kind of like a rotation
Rotation.
kind
But
of
if
thing.
it's running
Yeah.
for the next week, that
It's
can
not
only
gonna hurt,
help
you
us,
know?
right?
Right. And I know it's late to the game, but kind of piggybacking off of what Tom said, I know when we had open farm day, we asked Randy Brown to.
Oh, put it at
write
the
the
transfer
sign there,
station.
yeah, I
I
don't
was up there
know.
for at least a month after.
Yeah,
I know.
it was great, you know, I was very happy about that. I was like, yay. But I don't know if we wanna try to,
So there's that.
I mean,
Yeah,
Randy's
yeah.
a farmer, so that's, you
Yeah,
know,
perfect.
I feel like he would hopefully support that. And I don't know if you'd wanna write maybe southwickag.com so that people can click on it, since it is limited.
Yeah,
like
just
the-
say for info, Southwick.
Yeah, for info, go to southwickag.com, and that way we also kind of peddle the website a little bit out
Right,
there.
right,
like,
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, everyone goes to them.
Hey, well, that's it.
Plus,
including-
I saw you.
That was last week, right? Yeah, oh, gosh.
Yeah, it's all town managed stuff, so.
Yeah, we're supposed to be helping each other, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, if I need to go down there and do it, just tell me, Randy, I'll come down, give you the letters.
Well, I wonder if we can get the sign at the Southwick package store.
That might cost money.
Yeah, that might.
Right.
Right next, right above absolute 20.99.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Get people's attention.
Okay,
I don't know if maybe for next year, we want to get some little lawn signs too. 'Cause you could put one of those at the dump and put one in the.
For
dump.
the
Farmers
forum?
Forum.
yeah. Mhm.
That is a good idea, yeah.
I mean, snowplows might take them out, but
Well, you could do a generic, we could do a generic one and then like do a laminated printout
Exactly.
that like just stick
Slap
on
on
there and
the-
you go pick them up and
yeah.
use them the next year.
Mhm, mhm. Well, that's what we did for open farm day, it's just, you know, very generic.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. What a group, you're a good group. Good input as always.
That it?
I think so.
Motion?
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn?
Okay,
Second.
second. All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Nobody on the vote, okay.